I got a good ghost story.
Ooh, let's do a ghost story.
No, this is not new.
Ghosts. No, they're not. Ghosts are one of the older phenomena.
It's the story itself. It's ghosts and sex workers. Those were first. Those are the first things.
First jobs.
Ever, right? But then we got a bit of a story here. Again, this takes place in San Francisco.
Wow, you better put a flower in your hair and probably a gun. Bring a gun.
Then cover them shoes.
Yeah.
Because of the piles of human shit. Now, this is the story of a venue. It was called the venue. It's called the Chapel, and apparently they've been dealing with a ghost phenomena at the Chapel, and a lot of people have said that they believe that this venue is haunted by a little girl.
Very cool. I mean, I love those old haunted stories. One of my favorite memories, as always, is still the Pabst Theater, where the janitor, I think, told us, oh, yes, if you look up after midnight, you can still see the boy walking across to and fro. And if you're going to haunt any place, a theater is a great place to do it.
I guess so. There's some bad shows that rolls through. Why don't ghosts ever just, let me just go be me for a second.
Yeah, sure.
I've never seen a sighting of a ghost with big, amazing jugs.
Well,
like a beautiful,
what do you mean?
Like hot.
I don't think that the jug makes it to the afterlife. I think that it's more of a bone type structure.
No, we see pictures. I'm about to show you some really good footage of a little girl. But my question is, why do we never see? I guess there's the Phantom Boys. We know that who they show their butts to people and get them into trouble via ghost crimes.
That's an interesting way to.
But I've never heard
try to
of
cover up that crime.
I'm trying to look at this. Ghosts with big boobies.
I'm sure you can find the biggest, but usually they're wearing gowns or something like that.
Something form-fitting. There's the Malaysian breast ghost.
Okay, well, let's see that one.
This is here. It's called, it's the Hantu Tetek.
Oh, mama.
Which is I definitely nailed it.
Yes. Well, I don't see any images of the boobs.
This is the story. A young boy is out alone at night. Never a good idea. So you must assume he's had an adequate dose of ghost stories in his young life. A woman with absolutely enormous breasts spouting from her back approaches him.
Mama.
And he stares in silent prepubescent awe. She gets closer, smiling, and then her back breasts mysteriously expand, smothering the shock boy.
Whoa!
Ooh, lucky boy.
Death by
and
back
he's never
boobie.
seen again. I want to see if there's any pictures of this Hantu Tetek.
That's real interesting. So you did get your dream.
Look at them big old back titties.
Yes, but they're on the back.
Looking like me from college.
Yes, but it's unique. They're not in the front because that's a little different.
Wow.
That's kind of a different approach to them there.
You'd just be amazed what you just said. You cast out your line. You'd be surprised what kind of fish you're pulling.
The internet's going to bring us all together. It's going to make everyone smarter. Hey, man, do ghosts have big boobs? Let's search it.
Boom. Done.
Done and done.
This isn't a one about big boobs.
Great.
Right? Now,
because, yes, you have been obsessed with that yourself.
What?
You have been the only one talking about ghosts with big boobs.
I mean, again, it's content.
Yes.
And so this story is about a little girl.
Okay.
And so they say that when they go and they close the chapel at night, they hear the titterings of a little girl.
Oh, you've been around a lot of little girls. I'm actually happy you can't mimic what they sound like. Nope, still wrong. God, this reminds me, I just read a story about a weird-ass dude who was arrested for licking kids' toes at the park. Anyway, that's gross.
What?
It's a true crime. It was in People, dude. Technically, we could cover it. It's a crime story.
Well, you see,
I just didn't want to talk about it.
The youth pastor that was with his girlfriend until she was 14, and then he waited till she was 18, and they celebrated her 18th birthday with an engagement. He says, I could finally get married to my best friend.
That's disgusting. Okay, moving on to the ghost. I don't want to cover
Little girls that aren't alive to be molested. They're too dead. Now, this takes place at the chapel. Good. Now, the chapel, again, they're closing at night, and they hear the titterings, and they hear things moving around. A long time they've been saying that they believe that there was a ghost of a little girl, and they could not obviously prove it. It's difficult to find, but there's some footage.
Okay, let's see it.
I'm going to show you this visual footage. The audience will not see until we place this somewhere in a visual medium, and it will either be on Patreon or somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, we could technically play it on the stream.
I could do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I could do whatever the fuck crosses my mind.
Yeah, kind of.
Just take a look at this footage. Right. Now, you'll be surprised. Now, what we have here at first.
Okay, so it is a closed chapel.
This is the closed. It's just called The Chapel. It's not a chapel.
It's a bar called The Chapel.
It's a music venue.
Oh, it's a music venue.
Now, if you see this, what we see here is a young Not guilty janitor.
Yeah, that's just a janitor doing what janitors do. He's
being
locking up.
clean as hell on camera, really good. He hasn't touched anybody. He hasn't. And then you see that little girl jump out and touch the door.
I think that was a little girl.
That wasn't there. That was only on footage. Let's watch it again. Look at this. Here he is. He's at the door, not molesting anybody. Good, innocent janitor. All of a sudden, see that?
Yeah, but that looks like a girl to me.
That little girl wasn't in the room when the footage was taken. Now, this is the reason why this story got rebumped was because this story came from several years ago. But there was a recent article that came out with various employees, all like about a dozen people.
I didn't like that she was so fast.
Yes.
I want slow-moving ghosts.
But they said straight up that this is not a hoax, is that they went back to the manager and he showed him. And again, who can you believe other than a restaurant manager?
Well, not even just a restaurant manager, a rock venue manager.
Oh, yes.
They never lie.
They never lie.
No.
Well, at least they never lie about the security cam footage because police have warned them in the past.
Maybe.
And that maybe now what they will lie about is how close they are with the guy from Sugar Ray.
Absolutely.
They will lie about connections to Guy Fieri's various Italian restaurants.
Guy Fieri's, absolutely.
Yes, but they won't lie about seeing this ghost because, again, the entire
Is it going to help the venue?
I'm hard up, ready to go. I mean, opposite because it's a little girl.
Right.
So I'm soft as hell, hoping that a little girl will titter its way across me.
Well, that's a great cover. I think that people were assuming you were discussing because it was Paranormal Activity. We do live side story shows. If that venue is within our parameters, maybe we could perform there.
We need a minimum 6,000 seater. I need fresh soba noodles.
Ooh.
And I'm going to need that little ghost girl to be able to be purchased by the venue. Unfortunately, and it's going to be difficult because I'm going to bring my little trap Dan Aykroyd gave.
Oh, wow. Well, that's still illegal. You cannot kidnap those ghosts. And I do think the Ghostbusters need to be held accountable for how aggressive they detain those ghosts. And then they would just kill them in that damn fire pit.
Woke mob culture.
Yes, indeed.
This is the woke mob culture.
Oh, now you're getting it. Well, this is an interesting toss-up question I have for you.
Ooh.
This story is boring. And I almost think, I don't know if it's for Top Hat or if it's for this, but I just want to toss up question.
Oh, yeah, flop them up.
There's a proposed bill in Florida. It would ban dogs from sticking their heads out a car window. Now, what do you think about this?
I
am very conflicted about this because I think there's nothing more joyous than when you're driving and you see a little dog with their head out the window and the joy and the smile on their face. However, we've all seen Hereditary.
It does happen.
I don't want to see that dog completely beheaded by a random truck. But
no,
I don't know.
I definitely don't want to see it during the impact. That would make me very
but the dogs
upset.
are having so much fun with their heads out the window.
Of course. Well, I did a little bit of research on this topic because number one, what's interesting is that obviously Florida and Texas, most free states in the union, but with the most rules.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems they have a lot more laws than the rest of our country.
It's like they mandate fun.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what but you know that it's legal though in Florida to eat the dog. Eating dog is legal in 44 states.
Is that right?
Yes. You can, so you are then not allowed in Florida to let your dog enjoy sunshine, but you are allowed to garrote your dog. Cut it open.
Wow.
And make it food. Like literally smash its bones and eat it.
That is very interesting. So again, you never know what's going to happen in Florida. This is Bill SB 932. It covers animal welfare. And the interesting thing is, so it says it prohibits cat decline, but then it also says it's going to prohibit rabbit sales before Easter. And I don't know who's writing this bill. I understand the cat decline thing. It's supposed to be very bad for cats. Sure.
Well, sure, yeah.
But rabbit sales before Easter. What are we doing here?
I just don't understand. Because, again, taking the claws out of a cat, that's sad to do. But this is just a dog enjoying itself. I do sometimes get nervous if it's a small dog. Because then I'm afraid a dog's going to jump out because small dogs, I have a small dog. Obviously, Wendy, you understand with Jerry too. No,
he'll jump out that window. I lock it. I got to put child locks on with Jerry Bear.
Jerry would steal your car.
I know.
If he could.
Such a cutie pie.
He would do anything to leave it. All he do is love the animal.
And then Puffin would be on the bed. You want me to go faster? You want me to go slower? He's so cute. Okay.